Hi, my name's Kelly Reardon Slacher, and I run the Entrepreneurship Center here at RPI. Well, you've reached the third pop-up in the Change the World Challenge, and this pop-up is here to help you learn how to pitch to win this competition. What is a pitch, you may be asking yourself, and wondering why business is so centered around pitches. Well, pitches are used to persuade someone to get you something that you need or get them to buy something that you're offering. And so when we're talking about business, there's lots of different types of pitches that you could be giving to different audiences. And that's very important to know who your audience is when you are pitching. So whether it be an investor, a customer, an industry partner, or even a pitch competition that you are in and you're pitching to judges, the desired outcome is going to be different. And so is the information that you put into your slides and your presentation. When you talk about an investor pitch, the desired outcome you really want to get is a second meeting. You don't often get results in the first meeting when you're in a venture capital or an angel pitch, so you are trying to grab their attention to get a second meeting. When it comes to customers, you're trying to understand their problems and then, secondly, offering them a solution to them, i.e. your product or your service. Maybe when you're pitching an industry partner, you're actually trying to understand how you can help them succeed. You're trying to spell out that ROI that they are looking for in order to make the decision to partner with you. And in a pitch competition, you're trying to get the judge's attention and really meet the criteria that the organizers have created in the competition rubric. So you might be asking, how do we do that? Well, first start by asking for the rubric. In our case, it's available online. But here's what it is. It's 4 simple questions, and we want you to really look at what you'll be tested at. And when you read these questions through, you'll see it's not about your idea. It's more about the actual process of learning that you're going through. So if it's not about your idea, then what would you be talking about? So that's what we're here to talk about today. What you'll be delivering is something called a process pitch. And this link here is leading you to some examples of video clips of students who are doing the process pitch well and some that were doing it not so well. And it kind of walks you through the thinking process that we as judges or organizers are utilizing when we are listening to your pitches. So take a look at that link and you'll get a better idea of what we're looking for. So what I'll provide you with today is a rough outline of slides that you could use if you choose to when you enter this competition. Remembering that you're delivering this pitch with slides if you'd like them or other visual content, and you have to deliver it in under 5 minutes. You want to start with setting the stage. So you're bringing the problem to the attention of the judges. You're quickly talking about your solution, your idea, and how you're going to solve it. And then you're introducing who you think your customers are going to be. So in this competition, you've been doing some customer discovery. And if in the beginning you were thinking about your customers maybe one set of people and you learned through your customer discovery that it's actually another set of people, what we want you to start with on this beginning intro is your initial hypotheses that you were thinking about, your initial problem, solution, and customer ideas when you first started this competition. From there, we want you to tell a story. Tell us how you went through this competition. What were you thinking when you went in to build on that problem, solution, and customer base? Who did you think had the problem? Why did you think the problem was as big as it was? And then ultimately jump into what you did in this program. Did you go out and talk to 15 different people in a specific industry? Did you jump over a few different industries to see which industry had the biggest problem before you dove deep down into that vertical? Tell us what you did, the actual actions. Tell us who you actually spoke with. Give us some titles of people. And tell us what you discovered when you had those customer interviews. Did you feel the emotion of the person that you were speaking to when they were telling you what type of problem they dealt with day in and day out? Did you find out something that you didn't think you'd find out? Did you invalidate some ideas from your hypothesis, or did you actually get validation? We want to know that. And ultimately, you can close out this presentation by saying, what you're going to be doing next week. What are your next steps if you're going to continue on this process? So just to dig a little deeper into each of these slides, remember these first slides are your initial thoughts. This is a process pitch. Remember, you're bringing us through the process that you went through while in this competition. So you're introducing the problem. And like any other presentation you may give, you want to grab the attention of your audience. So maybe you want to tell a short story, or maybe you want to bring in a real-world example with some staggering numbers that may shock them and grab their attention. Maybe you're going to use some vibrant pictures and graphics. Whatever method you use to open up the conversation of your pitch, set the stage so that everyone is on a level playing field of understanding. Know that your audience for this competition is going to be comprised of alumni judges who are entrepreneurs and industry folk from different industries. So you may not have a technical expert judge from the area that you're working in. So make sure you're speaking at a level that is understandable to a general audience. And after quickly describing your solution, you also want to emphasize the benefits that the customer is actually going to have. Why does a customer care that you are solving this problem? What is it that you're going to do that makes their life better if they were to adopt your solution? Secondly, we want to know who those people are that you're talking about. Who is going to be adopting this solution of yours? What is the customer? What is the market you're going to be entering? Describe who's actually going to be opening their purse and wallets to pay you the money. Does it differ from the user? And again, how are they going to benefit from that solution? If you have more individuals and stakeholders in this ecosystem you're starting to develop around your solution than just a customer, the one who's paying you, maybe there are users, or maybe there are recommenders or influencers. Those are all important people to speak to. Just recognize they're not the individual who's actually going to hand you the cash, but they are in your ecosystem of stakeholders important to your business. So here comes the customer discovery part. This is really the meat and potatoes of what you did in this competition. We want to know, what hypotheses were you going into a particular interview thinking that you were testing? How many people did you speak to? What did you expect to hear? Did you hear back what you thought you were going to, or did you have an aha moment? Did you hear that the pain point you thought this customer was going to have, they actually had it? Or were you off mark and they really didn't have it, so you cut the interview short? That's still a learning lesson. Think of the acronym STAR. Stories they'll always remember. And when you're giving a pitch, you want them to remember you. There's going to be multiple student teams pitching in this competition, and by the time they get to the judging point of the competition, you want them to remember you. Tell a customer story. If you had some aha moments during your interviews, if you heard things that you didn't think you were going to hear, tell us actually what happened in the interview. How did you feel when you experienced the aha moment? Was there something that actually you heard in your interview that affected your business model canvas? And how did you go about implementing that back on the canvas? Tell us these things. This is the process that you went through, the educational learning. And use your business model canvas to help you tell the story. The judges are going to know that you're trying to find this product market fit between the value propositions box on this canvas and the customer segments. So stop and reflect and summarize what you learned through the process. Say we're talking about a body tracking software as a service that you're creating to develop highlight reels for student athletes in order to apply for scholarships. So that's the technology you're building. And maybe you're thinking that your customer segments might be high school basketball coaches because you think that they're the ones who would actually be interested and would pay for this product. Now, the hypotheses that you have on your value proposition box are things that you think your customer segment is going to value. So you think at this point that the coaches are going to value having successful team members so that maybe they can market that to their next team that they're recruiting. Or maybe that you believe the high school coaches are valuing increased attendance at home games. So ticket sales may be something driving coaches. And also coaches may be valuing alumni funding. And in order to do that, they have to recruit better. So these are things that you're hypothesizing this particular customer segment is going to value. So you do 10 interviews with high school coaches and learn that they're really not your customer segment, although they may be a stakeholder in this ecosystem that you're creating and learning about. They're not the ones who are actually going to open their wallets and pay you for this solution. So you go back to the drawing board and you start to think, who else could potentially value or needs this solution? Well, there's the high school athletes themselves. That's a hypothesis, or the parents of high school athletes. So you reach out to parents of high school athletes and interview them. And what happened was you learned that they are actually experiencing the pain point you're trying to solve. They are the ones on the sidelines of their child's game, recording and capturing audio and video so that they can then go home and make reels of their child to apply for scholarships. So bingo, you found your customer segment. Go back to your canvas then and update your value proposition. You've learned that the parents are valuing the ability to get scholarships for their child. So put a quantification on that value proposition of a percentage and test it out. Is a 25% increase in the ability to get a scholarship for your child enough to cause them to purchase your solution? That's your new hypothesis with your new customer segment. And next, you decide you're going to talk to more people because you're not going to stop just at high school parents. Maybe there's more customer segments out there. Next week, I'm going to talk to college coaches and see if there's an additional customer segment that I might be missing. To wrap up your pitch, again in less than 5 minutes, you want to say what you're going to do next. Do you plan to continue working on this idea, or did you find too many invalidations that this really is a dead in the water idea? And that's okay too. That's not a failure. That's a learning lesson, and we do applaud those. So whether you're going to continue on customer discovery, maybe move into some prototyping of a minimum viable product, let them know that that's what your plans are. And remember that this audience of judges are a great resource for you. So since you have their attention, close out your last slide with an ask. If you think this particular audience, these judges, could help you with something in your business, ask for that help here in this last slide. Again, you have their undivided attention, so it's a great time to ask. And just remember, when you're doing presentations in general, you want to be relatable. You also want to show your passion and let your passion come through. You want to show that you're genuine when you're talking about this process that you've gone through. And ultimately, you want to create some trust. So when you are delivering this presentation, and we will be doing it virtually this year, don't just read your notes from a screen next to your camera. Actually make eye contact with them and rehearse and practice what you're going to say. It's so important to be able to make eye contact and ad-lib a little bit if that's what's needed to make you sound human. We want to know you as an individual and your passions as much as we want to hear about your solutions and your journey. So don't be robotic and just read from your notes. Put yourself into the presentation and make it unique. So it's just that easy. Your submissions are due, not your slides, but just a written submission on a form at that link there is due by March 21st at 8 a.m. You can join our Discord channel if you want to get in on some entrepreneurship discussions or hear about more opportunities to compete in different competitions. And as always, my door is open and my email is ready to hear from you as well. Thanks, and good luck.